What's up guys, Visual here, but you can call me James, and welcome to GFX Podcast episode 3, where I'm going to be discussing copying, stealing, and using designs as inspiration. Now, this is a very controversial topic in the design community, and I know this podcast is going to help a lot of beginners out because they do not know the difference between the three, and it's going to give you guys a warning of what not to do and also what to look out for when on social media and looking at designs in general. So yeah, as I said, I just want to address that this is mainly for beginners. Maybe some intermediate designers will find this podcast helpful, but I've got notes written down, so hopefully I can go through this in as much detail as possible without boring you guys, because I don't like to make these podcasts like 20 minutes long because you're just going to get way too bored. So I like to make them short and snappy, and as you can see right now, I've got webcam on, so please let me know in the comments down below whether you do like the webcam or whether you don't. I try and keep this like whole podcast thing really raw so you guys can understand where I'm coming from and when I explain stuff, and just so you guys feel like, I don't know, a bit more personal with me. But regardless, we're going to get started with this podcast. Copying, stealing, and using designs as inspiration. As I said, very controversial, very big thing in the design community, and some of them are very bad. So as I said, we will start discussing this now. I'm going to kick it off with copying designs, as that is the first one I have written down, and I'm going to try and define copying designs to the best of my ability. And I believe copying designs is when you see a design and you copy 90 to 100% of the design elements and put it into your new design. So it's not quite stealing, it's not using as inspiration, but you are copying the design, the unique design elements. So to give you guys an example, you may, for example, see, I said example twice, say you saw a Fortnite Twitter header on YouTube, Fortnite Twitter header on Twitter, that would be more obvious, and the header was like really unique. They had a unique background, they had this like really cool text style that no one's seen before or no one's done before that much, and they used this type of stock, and I don't know, those are just some examples. And maybe they posted that on YouTube as a speed art, and you just watched the speed art and copied the entire type of design, the entire style. You placed everything in the right same exact positions, you use the same stocks, you use the same fonts, you use the same this, that, and it looked basically like an identical copy. It more than likely looks worse because the person copying isn't the best of designing. I'm just going to put that out there, but it will be an exact like attempt of copying. This is completely wrong. This is very bad. It's not going to give you a good reputation in the design community whatsoever. Really cannot stress enough how I do not recommend you copy designs. I'm going to just say that maybe if you want to practice, you can copy a design, but whatever you do, don't post it, because it's not going to get you anywhere, and people are just going to obviously comment about it. They're going to notice that you did copy. A lot of the time people do copy from big designers. I'm not going to class myself as a really big designer or anything, but I know I post a lot of speed arts, and the ones that have done really well have received the most amount of people copying them, and that's just a straight fact. So watch out for people copying your work. If you do notice someone has copied your design, don't leave a reply onto their tweet, like a rude reply or anything. Just go ahead, send them a DM, speak to them there. A lot of the time it's just beginner designers that copy, and they don't really mean to intentionally copy, they just do it. So have a speak to the person that does it, and I'm sure you guys can figure something out. Normally I ask them politely if they can delete the design, either that or literally give me a lot of credit, because it's my unique ideas, not yours. So moving on to the next point, we're going to talk about let's talk about stealing designs, which probably happens to me the same amount as copying designs do. When I post, a lot of the time people steal my templates, so I will get into that in a minute. But stealing designs is very obviously when you see a design, you either download like the HD link and you just post it yourself claiming that you made it, Or another example which people don't think is stealing but actually is when I upload a free banner template, someone downloads it and they start selling this banner template on to other people that don't realize that it's a free banner template and it's available for them on YouTube. Happened to me so many times, happens to a lot of YouTubers, a lot of designers, and is very, very wrong. You do not want to do this. You don't want to steal a design in the first place, and you definitely don't want to steal it, claim it's yours, and also sell it on. This is very wrong. It's probably illegal, and I don't really know too much about like the legal laws on that, but this is completely wrong, as I've already said, and you do not want to steal designs whatsoever. As I obviously said before, it's not going to get you anywhere, because you won't be learning anything at all as a designer. And yeah, just do not steal. I can't really explain much else about this point, but do not steal designs because people will find out. This is a professional podcast because I got water, right? Let's move on to the next point. We are going to talk about using designs as inspiration. Now, I want beginner designers to understand that this is perfectly okay to use inspiration from others. Don't take this podcast the wrong way and think that you can't use inspiration from others. You can, okay? It's completely fine if you go ahead and see a design that you like, and maybe you like their text style, or you like, I don't know, the background style. You can try recreate it, put your own twist on it, make it your own sort of style, expand from theirs. You can also take inspiration from many other designers, so you can take inspiration from someone's text, take inspiration from another designer's background style, and take inspiration from loads of different designers, and then it will probably form like your own unique type of design. This is completely fine. I even do this a lot. Talking about what I do, I remember when I started designing, I definitely did like straight copy some designs. That's why like I'm not too harsh to like people that I see that have copied me, unless they're like quite big, they know what they're doing, then of course it's quite bad. But if I see someone that's just copied my design, they've got like 100 followers, they got like 1 like, and it's just a beginner designer. You can't go ahead and hate on them because they have only just started or they are learning design, and most of the time they don't really know, and most of the time they do not think it is wrong. I remember when I started, I thought it would just be good practice to copy people, but it is not. So once again, do not do it. But yeah, going back to using designs as inspiration, make sure you do this, because a lot of the time you don't really have many ideas. I know I get like designer block and I do not know what to create at all. So I just go ahead and look on Twitter, I look on Behance, and I get some inspiration from other people, and I can gather that all together. I can get some inspiration from this guy, this guy, this guy, and I can form like a really nice design. So make sure you go ahead, look at other people's work. I'll leave a link to my website in the description down below, visualjd.com, and my work's on there if you want to take a look at that. What else is there to discuss? I do not know if there's anything else. There isn't too much else I'd like to mention. I just want to give you guys a tip. If you are going to post work onto whatever social media, make sure you add some sort of watermark to it, whether that be your name in the corner or something like that. I know a lot of the time people can like cover this up and so forth, but if you have a watermark, then of course it's proof that it's yours, and it's just a whole lot easier, and less people will definitely like steal your designs if you do have a good watermark on it. So just slap your logo on it in the corner. Another thing, I know this really isn't relevant, but I see so many people uploading banners and their watermarks are bigger than the banner text. Do not do this. Make sure your watermarks are a fairly small size, because at the end of the day it is just a watermark, and the design is the main point of interest. So is a point of interest? Viewpoint, I don't know what I'm saying, but the design is the main important thing, not your watermark. I see, like I said, I see so many people doing that, so just don't do that. And that's mainly it. That's probably all I have to discuss in this video about copying designs. So I am going to go ahead and end the podcast off here. Hopefully you guys did enjoy this episode. I've got an episode coming very shortly with some a special guest on it, and more to come with special guests. So hopefully you are enjoying the podcast. I'll leave a playlist link in the description down below to the other 2 previous episodes if you did manage to miss them. And yeah, if you did enjoy the video or the podcast listening to it, make sure to slap a like on the video. That would be much appreciated. I've never actually said slap a like on a video before, but leave a like nonetheless. That would be much appreciated. And also, if you did enjoy, please consider subscribing to the channel with post notifications on, and you guys will be notified every time I upload a brand new video, because I'm trying to post a lot more. So yeah, that's basically it, guys. As I said, hopefully you did enjoy. This has been Visual or James, and I'm out. Peace.